Good morning. So, put it in the right gear. I am on my way to get coffee and go to my bank. So, yesterday, I did it. I opened a Roth IRA, you guys. I took a chunk of my tax return and I started my future, okay? So, what's on my lips today is this e.l.f. lip stain, okay? Like, it's like a felt tip marker. It's like the craziest shit. This is supposed to be nude nectar. That's what color it's supposed to be. This is what color it turned out on my lips. It's really patchy. It's kind of weird, but you don't feel anything. Like, my lips feel a little dry, so at some point I will put my chapstick over it. But like my Dollar Tree sunglasses, the whole reason why I went to Dollar Tree, and then I saw this lip stain and I wanted to try it out. But I'm on my way to get coffee. And so yesterday when I was at the bank setting up my Roth IRA, he was like, do you work tomorrow? I said normally yes, but I had to take the day off because I have an appointment. I have an appointment with the shelter. And he was like, what time? I said, well, shelter doesn't open till 10. He goes, perfect. He goes, come into the branch, a branch that's a couple miles away. And he goes, and we're having our member meeting, our shareholders meeting, because I'm at a credit union, so we're shareholders. And I think because I got the Roth IRA, I'm gonna be a shareholder, you guys. I'm gonna have a future. It was like, come to the meeting. Starts at 8:30. You get some free swag, some free gifts. And he goes, and sometimes they give out cash prizes. So I'm gonna go do that. And then I'm gonna head towards the shelter. It's gonna be a little bit of a drive. I picked a shelter that's about an hour away because I had a dog that fit my needs, and it's a non-for-profit shelter. It lives, and it's not a county shelter. It's not like, you have like the Tacoma Humane Society. You have Thurston County Animal Services. It is literally a group of people who come together and pay and do fundraisers because they're a 501c3 who, and I know what it costs to start a 501c3. I know how hard it is to create those partnerships to keep the funding going. So the adoption fee for this particular dog is $200. And that includes the spay, that includes all of the medication, deworming, all of that stuff, and all of the vet stuff that she has received since she's been in the shelter. One of the shelter managers is actually a veterinarian. So they don't have to pay for the veterinary services, they just have to pay for the veterinary products. So like the medications and some of the treatments, they pay for those things, and then she does the actual treatments, which is kind of cool because that does save them money because she's volunteering her time. Now, some shelters do find volunteer veterinarians that come out and take care of the animals, but the cost of animal care, it can be expensive. Something I'm going to look at is possibly pet insurance, because you can get insurance for your pets so that she's covered for any medical issues. And people look at me crazy when I talk about pet insurance, but vets are expensive. Vets are very expensive, and pet insurance can help cover the cost just like human insurance. You guys, look, I don't know what's going on. She didn't do my eyebrows any differently than she normally does, but it's back to being way off. Like, my sister pointed it out, and I'm like, you're right, my eyebrows are so messed up, and I don't know why. Like, she didn't do almost anything different than she normally does, and my eyebrows are jacked. But, okay, are you kidding? I just want to cut through to go this way. These people don't know how to line up in a Starbucks drive-through. this time of day, I always go into the Starbucks. I don't dare use the drive-thru. I use the drive-thru at 5 o'clock in the morning. That is when I drive through Starbucks because there's like nobody there. All right, so you see the line that goes all the way to Tractor Supply? It's like the craziest ever. So that was like legit super long and boring. And I forgot to put my nail oil on this morning, so my hands are really dry. Oh. And my lips are kind of dry too. I'm gonna put some chapstick over it and let's see what this lip stain does. So I'm putting some Burt's Bees on. So it doesn't really come off on the chapstick, which is a plus. Okay. Relax. I'm not going to hit you. Oh my gosh, the line, seriously. Like, luckily I got my Starbucks. Now I'm off to my bank so we can go check this shit out. This person isn't even watching as I'm pulling out. That's awesome. Oh, ever since I started doing my nail oil again, I am like legit like, oh my god, my nails are so dry. My hand, like, I knew my hands are dry, which is why I went and got more sweet almond oil. Because when my sister was a nail technician, she used to have us use solar oil, and she got me for my birthday or Christmas one year this big tub of solar oil. Super good for your hands. And it's made with almond oil. And so when I was at the store browsing around looking for stuff, because I was actually looking for jojoba oil, vitamin E, to make my own, because that's what Christine uses. See, it doesn't look patchy on this camera. That's crazy. It's only a teeny bit patchy because you're using a marker, so some parts are going to be darker than others, but it legit doesn't feel like you have anything on your lips. And my lips were dry before I put it on, so I knew I was going to be chapsticking it up, but I kind of wanted to see how it would react with the chapstick. So if you guys, I'll show you my shirt later. It's LuLaRoe unicorn. I call it like my Asian shirt because of the way it sits. I've belly danced in it, so because it has the double slits on the side, but it's not a perfect tee. It doesn't flare out. But total derailment of thoughts. All right, so let's head to the bank. So I didn't win any of the door prizes, but they gave away in raffle prizes probably close to $5,000. 4 people won $250, 2 people won $500, a person won $1,000, and then a last person won, because they were giving out the dollar coins, the gold dollar coins, and one person won the bag, and they started with close to $1,000 in that bag, and there wasn't that many of us at a meeting. There was maybe not even 30 people, so just under $1,000 in dollar coins. And you know, I started out a little nervous because like I'm the youngest person there, okay, legit, like the youngest person in the room. And then another young lady walked in and she looks around the room and she sees me and she comes and sits down by me and we're talking, and she's just talking up a storm, and she's really nice, and she's been baking there for about a year. And then she was talking about how, like, I was like, man, you know, I'm kind of glad. I told her I was kind of glad there's someone, you know, close to my age. I felt really out of place. And she goes, that's exactly why I sat by you. She goes, I'm looking around, and then I honed in, because it's a small room so you can see everyone in the room. She goes, I honed in and saw that, you know, you seem to be close enough to my age, because there really was not a lot of people our age in that room. So I was like, make me feel a little bit better. She didn't get any snacks. She also didn't get her cheese board. Like, you checked in and you legit got a cheese board. Okay? Then you went upstairs to the actual meeting room, and the president and CEO of the bank, well, it's a credit union, gave you a dollar coin. Gave you the gold dollar coin. Like, how legit is that? So I gotta try to make sure that the next member meeting next year, because it's the annual member meeting in March, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna try to win some prizes. And I gotta hear about all the ways my bank is trying to move into, you know, the next generation, the way they're gonna try to help members, the way they're gonna try to bring more into in-house things like more mortgages. And they already do a lot. They already do car loans, but they're bringing in mortgages, and they're bringing in more mortgages, and they're gonna start looking into RV loans. Oh man, that's really. I do not have a question. I cannot get that to relax. Boat and RV loans, and just trying to get more member incentives at merchants that us members use on a regular basis. And they talk about how they have a whole IT team now that go through our debit and credit card purchases and find our trends, so that they can then, it was like one of the things they found is that members spend a lot of money at McDonald's, obviously, but specifically they spend a lot of money at the McDonald's that's right there near the bank. So he's talking about how they have this company now that will sort through all the data that they now own. It's not like a third-party company, it's a company that the bank now owns, that will go through and then try to create member incentives and customer incentives for us. And I think that's kind of cool. And like reach out to the businesses and try to create incentives. And we benefit in two ways. First, obviously, we're going to get some sort of discount and deal. And second, you know, because the bank will get a portion of that back, which is, you know, most, you know, obviously they'll get a portion back, and then that portion back that they get, they can then invest in more products and services and more ways to help the members. So I think it's all kind of cool. So it put me a little off schedule. I wanted to be there right as the shelter opened. I'm not going to be there right as the shelter opened. I'm going to be there a little bit after the shelter opened, because it's about 45 minutes from where my bank is. So instead of being there at 10, I'm going to be there at 10:30. But we're still going to go, and we're going to meet this dog, and hopefully we will be her forever home. All right, guys. We'll see you when we get there. Here we are. Come here. Come here. So, everyone, meet Sakura. That's right, that's you, Sakura. That is the name that baby panda picked for her new dog. And I'm gonna find out which bus stop that her dad's going to have her at and have her dog there so she can meet her today. And I'm very excited. I found out that she lived with another dog, and she lived with some cats. And her previous owner had passed away. So the daughter had contacted the shelter. I should know better than to wind that window down. Contacted the shelter to take both the dogs, and before they could go and actually get both of the dogs, the other dog had passed away too. So she lost her owner, and and her companion.
In 800 feet, turn left.
Which is very unfortunate. So I'm taking her home, and she is already about 8 years old. So they say that she only has
turn left.
a handful more years left before she herself will go to doggy heaven. But as long as I can make those 3 or 4 years awesome, then I will be happy. So we're on the long drive home, and then we'll see the house, and she'll meet the cats, and yeah, lifetime commitment with this puppy. All right, guys. So we're about halfway home. She's finally settled down. She's getting fur all over my stuff. It's fine. She's a little big for my back seat, if you can see her back there. Isn't that right, Sakura? I'm sure she's pretty anxious to get out of the car. I don't blame her. But people come from all over to this shelter. There's a lady that came from Tacoma to adopt a dog out of this shelter. So, I mean, that's cool. I'm nervous because I don't know how she'll react with the cats. It says that she has lived with cats and dogs, so she should be fine there. So, I mean, the girls will have to adjust to her. I've never truly owned a dog before, so it'll be a fun adventure, and hopefully things are good. I talked to Alex's dad, and he said that he would bring her by after she gets out of school. And I hope that meeting will go well, because that'll be what determines whether we will truly be Sakura's forever home or not. I have wanted to get my daughter a dog for a little while now, and I finally decided that it was time. It's finally time. So we'll see how it goes.
Blood or murder. Just the numbers about them. We write research reports.
Get you a girl who can do both. Get you the fun, silly girl who's also smart.
We're making progress.